Alright, so here's part 2. Got the baby shampoo and purified water. Alright, so I'm going to spray it down. Cut the tint. Ready to put it on. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll put it on. Get the outside as well, then run my hand down and try to guide it on the sides of the window to make any adjustments if I need to. Alright, now since this one has where the lip is almost flush, I'm not going to have to do any kind of serious cutting or anything like that, so I could basically cut the whole thing flush and it's going to fit right in. But what I always like to do is cut one side and then pull it back about 1/4 inch to where it gives a little playroom, so that way it there's no mistakes with a little bit of light coming in through little cracks or little imperfections. So, alright, so it looks good. I'm gonna cut the back first, and then go from there. So let's get your yellow squeegee. Push the tint down. You know what? I'm gonna cut the front first because I have less tint on that side. And always make sure you have a fresh blade. Blades don't cost that much, so always pop off a new one. That way it's sharp. It's not gonna mess up the tint. Alright, so I'm gonna cut this side first. You can't see, but just put my finger on the top, on the bottom part, and then just guide it up with the blade. Follow it with the blade. And just peel it back slowly, that way. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is do the bottom. Same process. Put my finger first, guide it on the bottom part, and then just slowly glide it. And you gotta have it at an angle. I would say 90-degree angle, and then always peel down slowly, because if not, it's gonna rip the other way. So now that I have that done, get rid of this excess stuff. And you can always save this for your little windows. I'm not a tinner. I don't tint all the time. I got a full-time job. I used to do this on the side to make some extra money, but I don't even do that anymore because my job pays me pretty good. So anyways, so I'll just moisture it again, and what I'm going to do is slowly pull it that way about 1/4 inch, just so I have that playroom whenever I install the tint, because you don't want to have any kind of light even barely going through. So I'll just slowly pull it, and I have to pull it off a little bit more. Slowly pull it forward. There we go. About 1/4 of an inch. So that way it gives you a little bit of playroom. Then just double check. Make sure everything's sitting flush on the bottom. And squeegee it again. So that way it doesn't move when you do the final cut. So squeegee it. You don't have to put too much pressure on it, but sufficient amount. Just squeegee it. And it looks like these windows are pretty flat, because sometimes windows you have to heat shrink them because little fingers come up because the window's not flush. And like I said, foreign cars, Honda, Toyota, they're the best to work with, because for some reason a lot of American cars like to, I don't know if they put rounded out windows or what's going on, but anyways, it's another story. So anyways, get my blade. I'm going to cut this part right here. Yeah, make sure you keep your tools where you can find them too. Alright, so here we go. And just make sure it's on there flush. You just have to pick it up a little bit like that. Do it, and just make sure you run your finger on the gasket the 90-degree angle and just let that gasket guide you. Pull it down. See, right here I like to cut it that way so that way there's no issue. So here's the tricky part. This car keeps turning off on me because I guess it's a new design, new feature, but let me turn it back on. Okay. So this is the tricky part. What I do is get it from the corner, lift up the bottom with your finger barely, and hold it up. You don't want it to, when you roll the window down, you have to make sure there's a gap about ½ an inch. Alright, once you see the gap, that's low enough to go. And then just, if it's still wet, just squeegee it up because you want the tint to be flush against this window. And then you're going to guide the blade on the top. Alright, so maybe make some adjustments maybe. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I don't know if you can see it very well, but what I'm going to do is just open the knife about this much and then pierce it at the top where the window is, 90-degree angle, and be very careful, just slowly let the blade just cut it, no pressure at all is needed really. And just put your finger right behind it and just peel up. Alright, so that's done. Always keep your area clean. So with that, once you finish that process, you're ready to put the tint on. But since I have all these extra little pieces, since I don't have a big old glass hung up on my wall because I'm not a professional tinner, I just use the glass. So once again, just clean it up real good. And I actually have a guide that I got, which is a painter's guide to cut the blades. I mean, to cut the window, but I could do it freehand because I've been doing it for some time. Anyway, just make sure you follow it through. And you want to have curves on it because if you have sharp edges when you roll the windows up and down, it's going to mess it up. It's going to cause friction with the tint, and you don't want that. So, want those smooth angles like that. And with this one, do the same thing. I always use my finger and just cut it nice and slow, nice and round. And then do the same with the other sides. And then once I fix these, I'm going to show you how to put it on.